This lesson, I want to talk about URLs, so everything to do with your URL. So these are some typical URLs here. So this is the file, paths, categories, anything that's representing the web page. Make sure that you try to create a simple directory structure, so something that makes sense. So the reason that I say this is bad is because it's long, it doesn't really say, and it's not easily readable by users. So over here we've got example.com, and then we can see that they do have a category dogs, and this just makes sense. And also keep in mind, so we've got some tips here. So keep in mind that URLs are displayed within search results. So we see that when we go down here, we actually have those URLs. So having nice, attractive URLs can actually attract more visitors. And all of these URLs, they make sense. So we've got keyword cannibalization, affects SEO, how to fix. So use keywords within your URLs. And the reason I say that, because we've got this bolding happening again within search results. So always think about how it gets presented, how your search term gets presented within search results, and this will help guide you to creating better SEO pages on your websites as well. Create descriptive categories and file names, so don't just have a bunch of characters here that don't make any sense. Do something like category, portfolio, my websites, and so on. So this will help keep your website more organized. It will also lead to better crawling results from search engines because it just makes sense. So this makes sense from a user's point of view coming in, that they see all of these different results and they're able to read it. Another thing that keep in mind that there are going to be real people and coming to that website if it's easier to remember. And the way that Google works is that they want the website content to be friendly to users, not to search engine bots. So easy to remember websites, URLs, and categories are going to be a lot friendlier, and SEO perform better within SEO. So the friendlier the URL is, the benefits are that users are more likely to remember them, and as well sometimes users might get intimidated. So if you've got this long URL and somebody has to post that and maybe they share just the URL, this is a lot more intimidating. And if you've got both of these URLs that someone presented to you, then which one would you rather click if you were looking to something about dogs? So also use common sense and logic. Use hyphens to separate words and rewrites to rewrite unfriendly URLs. So over here we've got all of the hyphens are separating the words, and we can see that it comes out nice, neat, easy to read fashion. When we talk about unfriendly URLs, so I've got my WordPress over here and it's got settings here in permalinks. So this is always a really good example of what's friendly and what's not friendly. So by default it goes into plain, and when I can refresh this and go back and click that portfolio again, we're going to see that actually I need to refresh the page so that I get that new link. So we're going to see that these are not as friendly. So what does this mean? Cat equals 3. It doesn't make a lot of sense for the user coming in. And that's why post name, and we're including the post information, makes a lot more sense when we're coming to those pages. We're looking at those. So going again, cat 3 doesn't make a lot of sense. When I go back here and refresh the page and I click portfolio, now from a user point of view, someone coming in reading it, this is going to make sense again. So keep those in mind. I've got a few more tips about URLs as well. So again, the shorter the better. So just again, from a point of view of a user coming in, whatever makes more sense, the easier it is to read. And you can see that within the search results as well. So if you had something that was shorter, you're probably more likely to click through it. instead of having long ones that you can't actually see what the end of it is and what its meaning, what's contained within those words. Try to use keyword variations. We see that here they've got some variations how to solve keyword cannibalization. So this is a variation off of keyword cannibalization, and they've added in this action here that people might search how to solve keyword cannibalization. Also making them readable by humans is another really good idea, and we can see that when we go back to our WordPress install, that here we've got our category, so whatever main category it is, and then our portfolio. So it just makes sense. Place content in the same domain, subdomain when possible, avoid multiple domains. So keep all of that content within that same domain, avoid having multiple domains and multiple URLs that people have to click through. So make sure that your navigation is simplified and just makes sense. Also, the distance of the pages from the root directory isn't a factor, and also whether pages get crawled or not, because logically you would look at this and you would say, okay, well, this page is not as important as a page that might be just within category, and then of course category wouldn't be as important as our main page. So this is a way that we can actually add some weighting to our web pages and indicate how much and how important they are within the structure of our website. And especially true when you've got a lot of pages on your site. This is something that makes a difference. And then lastly, I did want to talk about pagination. So when we do pagination, it's sometimes hard to avoid these kind of PG equals 3, and there is a solution to that, and that's including the REL next, REL previous within the head section, so that within the link we can better understand that this link is linking to a previous page, this link is linking to a next page, and when the search engines come and index that, then they'll be better able to understand it. So pagination, again, this is a better example of it here, that we see that we've got all of these links going through, and we know that these are going to be actually paginated, so they're going to make sense that sometimes they might not contain that the structure of the links as we would need them, and this is where we would include those page values as people move through the different pages.